All right, now that we got our holes drilled, we got time for rebar. So you can see I kind of got started cutting for my rebar for the bottom. I put a circle on the deck here that indicates the size of the footing. Keeping your rebar down against the dirt, away from the dirt, 3 inches. That's the minimum, 3 inches. Less than 3 inches, water wicks in from the dirt, the sides, and then it'll corrode and rust your rebar. So 3 inches is kind of the rule of thumb. So I get this one here, this bigger one's for the 3 foot. The smaller one is for the smaller footings. And then also got some rings here. This is for the upright rebar. I'll show you how to do that little L-shaped rebar. So they're going to be around here. There's going to be 3 of them, so on each one. So right now I'm bending for my smaller, my 12-inch columns, trying to keep that 1.5 inches away from the edges or more. So the parts that it's going to be where the soil or above grade, 1.5 inches from the perimeter is fine. When it's in contact with the dirt, it needs to be 3 inches. So that ring there is a little bit big. I'm gonna have to make it a little bit smaller. So, and that's gonna help keep my uprights locked together and in line. And it also helps with the blowout if there was too much weight. This is gonna be way overkill for this back patio, the amount of weight. But if I was to put a floor of concrete on top of it, then this might be a little bit undersized even. So here we go. I'll show you the process of bending, cutting rebar. Whenever possible, have your family out and having fun. This is what the lodges do for fun. Come out, help dad, and roll around in a trash can on a new floor. So the other thing I want to show you is these can be dangerous. So making sure you're wearing your ear protection, your eye protection, gloves. But you can see a little chip in it there. There's actually a little dent in another section, so when it gets off, don't keep using it. They'll break and they'll fly. They'll stick into whoever's in the way. So just be cautious. All right, now I got my string line up. My batter board is to finish grade. That's where I want it. Same as with the slab. That's about where I want the top of concrete going to be. The good carpenter's got his tape measure on him. I guess I better get my tape measure. All right, so now what I'm ready for is to measure for my uprights, my L bars, for my columns. I got my string line up. My batter board is 2 grade to finished floor. The other end is on my finished floor. So I need 3 inches of clearance on the bottom, and I'm gonna have 3 inches of clearance on the top, so that is 6 inches. So right now I got 7'6". So to my 90 bend, I want at least, 6 inches less, that's 7 feet. So the upright leg is gonna be 7 foot. The bottom leg is gonna be, depending on where I'm at, it'll probably be 16 inches. So 7 foot by 16. Each one's gonna be a little bit different. So I'm gonna have to do that to each one. So right now we're putting the dobies on the bottom of this cage, and that holds the rebar up off of the dirt down on the bottom, holds it up off the ground 3 inches. And these dobies have a little tie on them. We can put it right here. Pick it up a little. Too much. About there. And there's number 2. Give you a kind of a close up what it looks like. There. We got another one over there, and we got 3 more smaller ones to do yet. All right, it's time for the columns. So these, I got the Sonotube columns that I already got cut to length. They're gonna go right to finished floor. Okay, the house finished floor, which out here at the end of the patio is gonna be about 20 inches above the dirt here, or excuse me, above the concrete. So just about right. And I wanna show you how I form it. So I got my string line 2 grade. Okay, measured down, and then I subtracted 18 inches. I got an 18-inch footing at the bottom of this one and that one, and those 2 over there, and this one I got 14-inch footing down at the bottom. So take that length, subtract the footing, gives my length of my sonotube. So the sonotube, it's not as big as this hole. This is a 3-foot diameter hole. That's only 18 inches. So to give you an idea how I'm going to form it, we're going to use 2x4s, like a tic-tac-toe kind of pattern, and inside diameter is 18 inches. Okay, so what I need is that outside diameter, which is about 18 3/8, looks like 18 3/8. So I'm going to make these collars, also called yokes, depending on where you're at, but I'm going to make these collars at 18 3/8 inch. So the 2x4s that I got are 6 feet. That way they go out and onto the footing, or out onto the perimeter dirt. So 6 foot, I got to mark the center line. We got 3 feet to our center. 3 feet to our center. There we go. That's better. 3 feet. So 18 inches. Half of that is 9. So 3/8, so plus 3/16. So I'm gonna mark right there. And we got 18 3/8 on that side. That'll help keep my collar square. There's another mark. Now, one right here, one right there, one right here. Let's see. One like this. Gotta move the camera. Yeah, you want to show the camera? You found a little bitty ear of corn. So when I'm doing this, I like to make sure I'm square. So that helps when I'm nailing it all together. It just helps. So right about there, you can nail that. Using a 16 penny nail, if I drove it all the way through, it'd be poking out the other end. So make sure you angle it. All right, so now we got our yoke in place. Got it plumbed up to our line. So I got a center line there, plumbed up there, measuring over the distance I need actually from the concrete. I didn't want to trust the batter board that direction. And got it on my center lines there. So I got that in place. If I had my concrete stakes, I would drive that in so that this yoke doesn't move around. My string line is to grade, so I'm going to make some marks on my Sonotube. One right here at 21.5 inches. 21.5 inches. The other side is going to be 21 3/4. 21 3/4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a screw in each of those, just a hair bit above it. Take my string line down, and if you do your string line right, you should never have to cut your string line. Make sure I kind of stand on it so it doesn't move it around. Okay. Ideally is either I'm gonna toenail some screws into it, but I got to make sure I'm nice and plumb. So it's real close because doing it like that, but I don't want to just fully trust that. So there's one, and what I might also do is take a 2x4 from here, either kicking it down to help hold that from the bottom from moving, getting it out of plumb, and put that on a few sides. We'll see, maybe a 2x4 going down with a little 2x4 going this way to space it off the dirt. That'll help keep the bottom from moving around and that sort of thing, and I'll show you that when I'm all done. Pretty simple. Sonotubes are easy. Plus, in my opinion, this is my aesthetic opinion, they look good too when they're after they're poured and stripped. Nice round column and that sort of thing. So that's what I'm after right there. All right, we got our Sonotubes in for our columns. Right here, right there, right here, and those over there. That's gonna be all our back patio. So got them all screwed down, toe screwed in on the yoke or the collar. It's plumb on both directions. They're on line. I'll probably go ahead and double check some dimensions, making sure that I'm going to the center of the post instead of the edge or some funny reason. I checked already between those two. I'll bring some metal stakes, pound those in so they don't slide around when we're pouring the concrete, and as well as I gotta, like I said before, do something to kick it off, brace it off so that bottom's not moving down in the hole, causing it to go out of plumb. So for the most part, that's a wrap for drilling for tying the rebar, and forming the little columns, little piers for a back patio footings. So hopefully you like something like this. Hopefully you learn something. You know, I enjoy all this that I do, and it's just fun. And if you ever get a chance to do it yourself, for yourself on your own project, you know, it just makes it even more exciting. So I think the one thing I didn't mention was the rebar. This is number 4 rebar. You can see the little hoops, the little collars here. Okay, make sure you get it engineered. Okay, so I don't go with the area that I have, with the footings that I have. It's all about the type of soil, the size, that sort of thing. And I tend to overkill things a little bit, so better to be bigger than smaller in this case. My patio is going to be 20 feet out, 24 feet across, roughly. It'll be overhang another 4 foot, so it's almost a 24 foot by 24 foot square area. So I need some good sized footings for this this roof. So make sure you get it engineered and inspected and that sort of thing. So that's a wrap for this portion of the home build, and I'll see you next time.